was perusing the Wii U storefront a while ago and noticed a retro-style game that I thought looked vaguely like a remake of Castlevania. It was called Citidale, and it was on sale for $1, so I said, why not? I enjoy retro games, and I enjoy Castlevania. What could possibly go wrong? Well, after playing the game for about a minute, I realized something was terribly wrong. This game wasn't just like Castlevania, it was practically a hack of Castlevania. And not a good one. Let me explain. The story goes that a long time ago, some evil guy was defeated and dismembered. Somehow his soul was thrown into some, quote, realm of eternal darkness. Some guy who happened to be the immortal son of the bad guy kept watch over the only pieces of the body that apparently couldn't be banished. He met a chick, got married, and during this time, the evil guy was reborn and subsequently attacked a village where his son and daughter-in-law lived. The son went out to find what's wrong, and, not content with just staying away, Sonya the bride picks up a holy sword and goes after them both. All of this is revealed in an agonizingly slow text crawl that's hard to read, and it shows if you don't start the game right away at the title screen, or if you hit start and let it go. Thank God you can skip it though. The game then begins immediately, if you press start that is. The game resembles one of the GBA Castlevania games. You control Sonya, jumping, slashing, and throwing sub-weapons. Yeah, it's that similar. If you've played Castlevania, and it doesn't matter which one, you know how the gameplay works. Except there's one huge difference. The screen doesn't scroll. Instead, you have to travel screen to screen, having it scroll immediately once you hit the end. This isn't necessarily a bad thing, at least until I mentioned that I died, because there are often enemies immediately on the left side of the next room. Take this area for example, right in the first stage. You scroll over and fall right onto a zombie. Death. Talk about bullshit. And that's not it. There are a lot of enemies on the screen at one time, and although you have a life bar, sometimes it just doesn't feel like enough. In addition, the game decides to block your path at times until you defeat all the enemies. Well, that's pretty crappy, especially since the range on your weapon isn't exactly the best. If you crouch, it's even worse. Another problem with the game is that it's not very smooth. Movement just feels stiff. Frame rate seems low, which is really damning for a game this simplistic. Hell, I noticed on the second stage that your status bar can't even scroll smoothly, and when you move it jitters. I mean, I hope this is intentional, but somehow I can't see how that's the case. And why do I think that? Well, take a look at this. I paused the game here to write something down, and noticed that this skeleton just kept throwing his bones at me. So I got closer and paused, and yep, it threw a bone and fucking damaged me. Are we for real here? I can't even freaking pause the game without worrying about my health, not to mention that the game can get glitchy when unpausing it too. There's also some pretty shoddy hit detection. I noticed it the most on the third boss of the game, who I can't even defeat because of it. It's a creature that emerges from the bottom of the screen, and once you strike it, it unleashes some bug-like thing that's extremely difficult to avoid. And I swear there were times I was smacking it with my sword, but it wasn't doing anything. This is about the part where I asked myself, I spent money on this? Perhaps you notice that the sound effects are, for the most part, ripped straight from the Castlevania games. And it's only specific ones, which is strange to me. Shit, if you want to plagiarize, don't do it half-assed. The game does have original music, but it's subdued for some reason with no way to turn it up. Not like this is a terrible thing, because I didn't really find the music to be all that great. The boss music wasn't so bad, but the regular stage themes, it's okay. There's really only a few positive things to say about Citadale. One of them is that there are checkpoints available, and with the difficulty because of the hit detection and cheap enemy placement, you'll need them. There are infinite lives as well, but as a trade-off, there's no saving. You have to finish the game in one sitting. If you quit, the game ends and you're starting over next time you boot the game up. I only found this out by accident. In addition, there's no quit confirmation, so if you pause, make sure you are most definitely on continue, because if you choose quit, it's back to the title screen for you and any progress is lost. Secondly, the graphics are pretty good. At least the developers got that right about the game. I'd say it feels like an NES game, but I think GBA is more accurate with the low detail models and the smaller characters. But I did like the backgrounds, as they are very well drawn out. And that's about it for Citadale. I don't really have anything to say about it other than play Castlevania instead if you're hunting for a 2D platformer with horror elements. If you come across this on the Wii store and it's on sale, pass. It's just not worth whatever they're asking for it. Final score? 5 out of 10. This is Reaper. Happy fragging.